Shard and Hey True Crime fans, welcome back to another episode of Shard and Hey True Crime. I'm your host Dakota. With me as always is the lovely Kate.
That's me.
That is her. And tonight we are bringing you part 3 of Heaven's Gate. That's right, part 3. Now, as you may have noticed, this one is titled The First Goodbye. That's because there are about 39 more goodbyes to go, but we're not there yet.
Too soon?
I mean, it's been at least 20 years. It just reminds me. Oh, that's good. Oh, that is a good wine. Sorry. No, it just reminds me of that post about Abraham Lincoln. And they're like, he was like 6'4" wearing a hat in the theater. I would have shot him too. And someone was like, it's been 16 years. It's too soon. You're like, I think you're a little bit off there, my guy. Just, bruh.
Well, it's been at least 16 years.
That is true. Yeah, that's true. It's like when you look at like a large number of things and go, oh, wow, there's at least 3 of those.
Yeah.
And people are just like,
I'd say it's at least 7.
People are always just like, yeah. Kate Angie.
It hurts.
Kate Angie at her face.
I just watched it yesterday. Why is it doing this?
I don't think that's how that works, Kate.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly how it works. I washed my face yesterday. All my skin should be clear.
You know what? You're the skin scientist.
Yeah. I washed my face yesterday. I've had at least 3 sips of water today. What the fuck?
There you go. What the fuck indeed. All right. Anyways.
I'm a good person sometimes. I don't deserve this.
Sometimes. Only sometimes.
Shit, you're right. Yeah. I'm a softie. I have a guilty conscience. I'm usually a good person.
Anyways.
Okay. Yes. So, anyways, last week we were discussing the effect of gurus on Western civilization and the perversion of the word and the way people tend to deify people who are given any sense of power.
Yeah, but only after other people give them that sense of power.
Yeah, exactly. Or they take it, but yeah.
Yeah, but you can't really take... You can't really take something that people aren't willing to give. If in this sense, you can't.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because if people really had a problem with gurus, like really had a problem with them, there would be no pastors, there would be no priests, there would be none of that, no religion.
Yeah, like quite literally all major religions would have died out
thousands of years ago. But anyway, today we're going to get back into Heaven's Gate and what's going on in the cult, starting with something that has oftentimes bothered me when it comes to this whole case, and that is the idea that these people were brainwashed into joining the cult.
Okay, I mean, I'm not going to say that, like, they absolutely were, but you don't think that they were?
Well, I believe that they were manipulated, definitely, but I don't believe that they were brainwashed. And in fact, religious scholar James T. Richardson has an interesting note on the phrase brainwashing that I am going to read here. Brainwashing is a metaphor, but it has become a powerful social weapon to use against unpopular groups or other entities which are attempting to recruit participants. It is impossible to wash someone's brain, of course, but the term has come to refer to any form of disfavored persuasion, The concept is the antithesis of agency and violation and assumes the individuals can be tricked or persuaded by some magical psychological techniques to literally change their minds, if not their basic personality. I don't see that happening with Heaven's Gate.
I mean, I guess, like, I feel like there's kind of like a fine line between manipulation and that.
Yeah. I don't think that they fell onto the brainwashing side of things. They were never told, if you don't join this group, you're going to go to hell. If you don't join this group, all of your family and friends are going to die. Like, you will die a horrible, painful death. They were never told anything like that. They were like, hey, we're a bunch of fucking nerds, and we think that you can change your body into being a lizard person and going into space. And everyone was like, what the fuck? I want to be a lizard person and go into space. I'm in.
You know, something that just kind of occurred to me, like, while sitting here talking about this?
What?
I was, like, just thinking about how similar the space nerds in Dude Where's My Car are to that.
I honestly haven't seen that movie in over 15 years.
I rewatched it very recently. I saw that it was on Amazon, and I couldn't find anything else that I wanted to watch.
Were you the one that watched that? I was wondering who watched that.
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
Pops up on my, like, watch again, and I was like, who the fuck watched this?
Yeah, that was me. Because it wasn't because it wasn't because there was nothing else for me to watch. It was because I was desperately trying to find anything I was familiar with that had Brent Spiner in it.
Oh. Because
and
you're a fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Because Kate is thirsty for Mr. Data.
Look, I love that android, okay? He would treat me right.
Thirsty for Mr. Data.
Yes, I will not sit here and act like I'm even remotely ashamed of that.
It's fine. I'm thirsty for Mr. Spock.
Mr. Spock is at least like a biological living being. Like, not that Data isn't living, but
he's a vibrator with a personality.
Settings. There was that whole episode where he downloaded a whole boyfriend like program because a girl wanted to date him. He was some chick's rebound for a little bit. It was really fucking funny.
So am I wrong then?
Oh my god, I love Data. I love Data so much.
The vibrator who talks. I just love the look of shame on your face now that I've said that.
The most brilliant vibrator ever. Oh fuck, that's funny. It's like, it's not even shame, it's just like that realization.
Yep.
It's fucking hilarious. I still stand by it. I stand by my thirst.
But am I wrong?
No, I'm not gonna say you're wrong about this.
No, I'm not wrong. Anyways, so we're kind of getting off topic there a little bit.
Just a little, but what else is new?
Yeah, true. Wouldn't be Chardonnay True Crime if we weren't getting a little off topic there. Yeah. But anyways, the idea of brainwashing isn't something that's technically feasible. And in fact, as I mentioned before, people were absolutely free to go. Some members even left and came back multiple times. They were like, no, I don't want to be here anymore. And then they were like, LOL, take me back. And then they were like, no, I don't want to be here anymore. And then they were like, take me back. And then they were like, no, I don't want to be here anymore.
Oh. Can I guess what they did next?
What?
Then were they like, take me back?
Yeah, pretty much. And the group welcomed them back with open arms every single time. And they mourned their loss of their friend whenever they left, and they were always helping people go back home. Everyone in this group, or this class as they called it, had a choice, except for two people.
Oh God. T and Doe. Was it T and Doe?
Yes. Yes, it was. I mean, technically, they obviously had a choice, but have you ever done something and gotten too far into it and just felt like it was too late to back down?
You mean my job?
Yeah. But T and Toe didn't have a choice at this point. They were followed by lots of people, and they were looked upon as deities, as we discussed in the last episode. And again, like we said in the last episode, the number one thing to remember about these people, T, Doe, and the entire class, is that they are all just human. That's it. They're human, doing what humans do, trying to find the answers. Because to some people, the fear of what happens next, even if they don't want to admit that it's fear, is so strong that people will turn to other people.
I think that's just called religion most of the time.
True. And in that way, this class became all of these people's religion. I mean, there are still followers of the class to this day, even though the deities, T and Doe, are both dead. These people in the beginning truly believed that they could transform their bodies and move on to the next level. Sorry, what were you saying?
I got mixed up there for a second, but I figured it out. Never mind.
Oh, you good? What did you think?
I thought you meant at this point T and Doe were both dead, and I was like, wait.
No. You're like looking back at the notes. You're like, wait, what did I miss?
Yeah, no, I realized you meant like at this actual point in present time.
Now in 2021, they dead.
Yes. So I pieced that together. I just like got mixed up for a sec there.
Yeah, but anyways, in the beginning, they truly believed that they could transform their bodies and ascend to the next level and become alien people, basically.
But that's not what happened, as far as we know.
No, but what did happen, though, was in 1985, Bonnie Nettles died, leaving Herf alone to run the class.
Oh, yeah. I forgot I always forget that she died.
Yeah. But it's not like she just like straight up and died, which we'll get to in a sec. But before we do, I want to talk about Bonnie some more. See, Bonnie Lou Nettles was the real power behind the throne, in a sense of speaking. She was the one who came up with the idea of traveling around. She was the one who came up with the group's theology, and she was the one who taught the class for the most part.
Ah, the true leader. It's like what they say, behind every powerful man is some chick.
Some broad. Yeah, I mean, pretty much, though. She was the mystic. She was the one who claimed to be speaking to spirits, and she was the one who interpreted things her own way.
And she was like lying to the group the whole time, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah. 100%. She was talking to her daughter, Terry, once a month, writing to her, sending her money, keeping in touch with the outside world, which is not something that the group really allowed the rest of the class to do. But of course, there were some instances of people getting in touch with family, but those were few and far between and only in specific circumstances.
Like, like the old woman.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll talk more about her later. But yeah, she was allowed to keep in touch with her family because her family was like, dude, she's like 90. Like, please let us talk to our grandmother. And they were like, yeah, that's fine.
Y'all, she's gonna die soon. Come on.
The group? Yes. Yes, she is. I broke Kate.
Oh God, no, sorry. I just almost got pointy water out my nose. Yeah, I'm good. That was just really funny.
Oh, well, thank you. But no, Bonnie wrote letters to Terry and sent her and her other children money and went against the group's teaching and ways. But she did it because Bonnie could, because this woman was smart enough to know that the group, number one, didn't need to know, but number two, that they wouldn't understand. You know, does that make sense?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, if you think about it this way, like, if the group knew that Bonnie could break the rules, then that would mean they could all break the rules. And that's how you break down the whole group. And then it just kind of falls to shit.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much, yeah. Uh-huh. And let's be honest here, Bonnie herself knew that they aren't going to be up in a spaceship. Like, she must have known that by now. I think a
Whoa.
lot of this happened because Bonnie was dissatisfied with her life, Herf was dissatisfied in his life, and the two of them egged each other on and got more people involved. Like, I honestly believe that that's what happened.
Yeah.
And sorry, what?
Yeah. Like, that just makes sense, you know, like, when you're both, like, if you're both unhappy, but you find that connection, it's just gonna build.
They built off of each other. They egged each other on. It was very much like I hate to bring up your favorite person in the world, Henry Lee Lucas and Otis Toole, but when they were in prison and they were talking on the phone trying to get each other to admit to things, they'd be like, remember how we were in that cult? And they'd be like, oh yeah, and remember at the cult they taught us how to throw knives? Yeah, and remember I was good at it like from the first time, and I hit that target 100 feet away and it went in immediately. Remember that?
It's literally like they were literally playing by the rules of improv. You never say no.
Exactly. And I think that that's a lot of what was happening, and honestly a lot of cults. I'm going to be honest. A lot of cults are very much based off of never say no.
Just don't deny anything, because then we can't work with it. Just keep going, keep going, keep going.
I think that that our bodies can turn into aliens, and then we'll become aliens. If we
and then you know what? Since we'll be aliens, we won't need to live on this planet anymore. So we will ascend up into spaceships.
Absolutely. And the way that we do that is by taking vitamins and not having sex.
Oh yeah. And like we need to like cut ourselves off from like everybody else in the world, you know, like everybody who we had a relationship with, wink wink. You know, all of our possessions, just throw it out. Just get rid of it. I mean, we don't even have to throw it out. We can just abandon it.
Oh my God. You're so smart. Bonnie, where do you come up with this stuff?
You know, it's just the truth that's been revealed to me from the universe.
You know what I think it is? When they were like traveling the world and everything. Remember how they were like traveling the country and stuff? I swear to God, they were just like going around to like community theaters and just taking a bunch of improv classes. And then the next day they would like go to church. Church and improv. That's all they did.
Something's got a little mixed up in translation.
I feel the need to point out this is not an episode that I have run by the remaining members of Heaven's Gate, solely because I do not think they would approve of this episode at all.
Yeah. This is just speculation.
All of it is speculation.
Just
but that's the name of the game. Mm-hmm. What did you say?
I said, just to clarify.
Yes, just to clarify, all speculation has not been run through by the remaining members of Heaven's Gate. And if you guys are watching, I would say I'm sorry, but you said it yourself. Every podcast needs to have their own points, and this is mine. But I think that Bonnie knew that this was a fantasy. I think there was a part of her that really, truly hoped that it would happen. But I think that she knew in her heart of hearts that it was a fantasy.
I mean, who wouldn't hope for that to happen?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I want it to happen, for God's sakes. And I hope that after the 39 left this plane of existence, they went up into that spaceship and are off circling Jupiter or some shit. I don't know. I hope to God that their spirits have found some sort of peace that they weren't able to find on this planet. But do I think that it is physically possible to transform your body into an alien body and peace off into the stars? No,
Not by our own means, anyway.
definitely not. Maybe like some District 9 shit could happen, but I don't know.
I mean, we're made of stars and shit, you know?
Mm. But anyway, yeah. Bonnie started having some problems and went to a doctor while they were living in Texas. She was diagnosed with cancer and soon had to have an eye removed. But the doctors told her that the cancer was spreading throughout her body. But Bonnie was the leader of a cult.
Yeah, she's got shit to do. No doctor's gonna tell this alien wannabe that she's gonna die before she's ready.
Exactly, because remember, she's supposed to die with Herf, this guy.
Mm-hmm.
They are supposed to die together and then be resurrected 3 days later, like Jesus, and then plunge the world into some sort of apocalyptic bullshit or something. I don't know. I really don't understand. I have read this book about all of their beliefs and like, you can't tell right now, but the spine of this book is like just scrunched. It's scrunched. Because I have read this book so many fucking times, and even I don't understand fully what the hell they were trying to accomplish.
Just sounds like so much fucking effort, man.
It really is. It really fucking is. Yeah. Oh God. All right. So like, let's see. Here we go. So there's like a whole thing about their beliefs and everything, and it's basically sci-fi mixed with Christianity, which is basically Scientology.
I was literally just thinking that.
Yeah, it's basically Scientology, but different.
Scientology, but cooler. Scientology's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And I will not apologize for saying that out here.
You know what? Neither will I. We're both going to be stalked by Scientologists after this, but...
Could not care less. They cannot affect me.
Yeah. If they want to stand outside in like 150-degree heat, fucking go for it.
Yeah. If they want to... Yeah. If they want to do that shit, I ain't bothered.
Ox me if I'm bothered, though.
Ox me if I'm bothered.
But anyways, so the body, the cancer started to spread through her body, and it continued to do so before spreading to her liver. And on June 19th, 1985, Bonnie Nettles died in a Parkland hospital. Her body was cremated. Her remains were thrown into a river in Texas somewhere, and that was kind of that.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Her daughter. They called her daughter and told her, right? Dakota, they called her daughter.
No. So, after Bonnie died, her mother died. So Terry started reaching out, trying to get in touch with her mom to tell her so that her mom wouldn't see it in the newspaper or something like that. Because she knew that her mom was in Texas and her grandma was in Texas. And she was like, oh, like, I should like let my mom know that her mom died so she doesn't see it in the newspaper, obituaries or anything. So she's trying to reach out to her mother, and she's just like calling and calling. And when she is able to get in touch with the house, someone would ask her why she needed to talk to Bonnie, what she wanted to talk to her about, and they would say that they would pass the message along for her. And Terry, to her credit, did not budge.
I need a cupcake right now just to be like, good for her.
Right? Seriously.
Like, seriously. Good for her. Like, don't fucking budge on that shit. Like, no, this is a personal matter. Mind your fucking business.
That's basically what she told the members of the cult, too. They were like, I just am imagining her like calling, and she's just like, yeah, hi, I need to talk to Bonnie, or I don't know, what do you call her? T?
Why do you need to talk to her?
Because this is her daughter, you dumb shit. Let me talk to my mom.
Okay, so I can't do that.
Uh-huh.
So I could pass the message along for you.
Okay. But here, wait. This is Liv Odie, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Liv Odie, listen. This is Terry. I have known Bonnie and Herf since before you were a thing. So let me talk to my mom. Let me talk to her right now. You good?
Sorry, a hair got in my mouth. And I couldn't find it.
Oh, that's the worst.
So yeah, I can't put her on the phone right now.
Uh-huh.
So if you just give me the message, I promise I'll pass it along.
It's a personal matter, Liv.
I'm very discreet. I'll pass it along, and that's.
Yep, I'll call back when my mom's around. Bye.
It's not gonna be calling back anytime soon, then.
Kate. Ugh. You're right, though. You're right. Poor Terry.
Poor Terry, indeed.
Poor Terry. But, I mean, good for her for standing up to them, right?
Yeah. How did she find out?
So, she was in college at the time, and one day she got a call from the front desk of her dorm saying that she had 2 visitors. One of them actually was Liv Odie. And that's something that they would actually do, is they gave themselves new names, and it was always like a sound and then the word Odie at the end. So like Liv Odie, Dav Odie, Vi Odie. Hang on a second. There's like a list of their names in this book.
Okay, yeah, the space nerds from Dude, Where's My Car had to have been inspired by Heaven's Gate then.
Why?
Because all of their names just started with a Z.
Oh.
And all they wanted to do was go to space.
Yep, that was inspired by Heaven's Gate. Yeah, here we go. All right, so there was Doe, Alxody, Ginody, Chickody, Ginody, Dwinody, Legody, Livody, Millody, Neurody, Olody, Olody, Ollody, Olody, Persody, Slivody, Snody, I guess. Stolody, Smody, Analode, Onlody, Anlody.
And Lodi.
And Lodi, thank you. Because I was this close to just saying analody. Let's see. Surody, Tillody, Sturody, Surody, Snigody, SNGODY.
I'm convinced you're just making these up now.
I swear to God, I have the list right here, Kate. Look at that.
Well, you could just be, you could have just given up on reading and just starting to say names, just say noises.
No, this is, I Swear to God, this is all actually. I'm taking a picture and sending it to you. God damn it. Yes, I am doing it while we are on the show because she will not believe me until I send this shit to her.
I questioned her. I doubted her.
How dare you?
You doubt my power? I do.
You're a monster.
I know.
As long as you're aware. Oh God, does that mean that I'm like a cult leader? Because I'm like, you doubt me?
I mean, probably. You have always said how much you want to start a cult.
It's true.
Not always, but occasionally.
Eh.
It comes up.
Listen, it's good to have goals, okay?
Oh, I wish I could relate.
Just let your antidepressants do their thing. You'll start having goals again.
I mean, I've never had them to begin with, so we'll see what that's like.
It's not bad.
Fucking.
I constantly have goals. I have goals literally all the time, and it is kind of a problem. Because I have goals and ADHD. All right, I just sent you a picture of the list of names of people who died at Heaven's Gate. And if you don't open that picture up right now and fucking look, I'm going to throw my phone through this goddamn screen. Kate, look at the list.
I knew you were full of shit.
You're full of shit. Look at the list.
Ugh, making me go get my phone.
I can see your butt in the mirror. You know that means that the viewers can see it too, right?
Yeah. You're welcome, everybody.
Oh, God, my nose is like so itchy. I've had the worst allergies today. I think I'm becoming allergic to cats, and it's the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life.
Oh my God, isn't that the worst?
Yeah, because I was hanging out with cats a few days ago, and then all of a sudden I had like really bad allergies, and then I was hanging out with cats today, and I have really bad allergies today, and I'm like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to anyone in the history of ever.
Yeah, it's like when I realized I was starting to become a little bit allergic to dogs.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that I'm going to stop being around animals, though, because that's never going to happen.
Yeah, right? Like, I knew I was allergic to guinea pigs, and I still adopted 2 of them.
You weren't allergic to guinea pigs. You were allergic to hay.
No, it was the guinea pigs.
I thought it was the hay. Whatever.
No, it was the guinea pigs.
I think that you tried to make some excuses in the beginning. You were like, no, it's just the hay.
I did.
Okay.
I
Well,
am what is known as what do you call it?
An idiot.
Full of shit.
So yes on both counts. Anyways, so Terry was in college at the time and one day got a call from the front desk of her dorm saying that she had 2 visitors. When they were let up, she came to realize that it was 2 members of the cult. I believe it was Liv Odie and Dave Davody. But they sort of stood around awkwardly talking about stuff, and one of them pointed to a poster of Yoda on the wall and made a comment about how Bonnie had liked Yoda and thought that he was really wise. And Terry's reaction was just sort of like, he's a puppet. Yeah, literally. He's a puppet.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they started talking about Bonnie's eye, and they started saying all this stuff about how it had been removed, and Terry cut them off and was like, my mom's dead, isn't she? Fully expecting them to say, no, she's alive, but sick.
But they couldn't say that.
No, they couldn't. In fact, what they did say was that Bonnie had died a year earlier.
They waited a whole fucking year?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
To tell her daughter, who in turn had to tell her younger siblings that mom was dead.
Yikes.
It's a bad look there, guys. They waited a whole ass year. And to add insult to injury, they told Terry they'd stick around for a few days to help her cope with the news and process it and everything, but left later that night. They left a letter for her explaining that they'd had to leave, saying that her mom talked about her often and that she needed to start taking vitamins and take care of her body. And that's kind of it. That is the cold indifference the group treated Terry Nettles, with who had just lost her mom, the leader of their group. That is how they treated the daughter of the leader of their group.
That's colder than my pointy water right here.
Exactly. Fucking ice cold. And then the tape came in.
The what?
The tape. You see, Doe, in his infinite wisdom, decided to create a tape for Terry, telling her about how the cancer had spread, what Bonnie had wanted, and how she had been okay with her daughter not being there for her death.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
What? Was that supposed to comfort her? Like, what the fuck? How is that anything other than literally adding insult to injury?
I have no idea. And in it, Doe never refers to Bonnie as Doe or as T or as anything other than T. He never refers to her as Bonnie. He never says your mom. He always just says T.
That's
And
fucking weird, man.
it's tone deaf is what it is. It's completely tone deaf.
Yeah, that's it's pretty rough. It's a bad look, sis.
It's a really bad look, sis. Anyway, so this left Herf in a weird position. He is now in charge of this entire ass group, and he and Bonnie have, hey, Priscilla.
Hi,
Hey, Priscilla. No, but it left him in this really weird position where he has this entire group and he has no idea where to go from here. He has no idea how to get from we are the two, we will die together and be resurrected together to question mark, question mark, question mark.
Because he wasn't the ideas guy.
He wasn't the ideas guy. He really wasn't. Priscilla said she missed us with emoji. We missed you too, Priscilla. But the thing is, okay. So he has no idea what to do next. So they just kind of don't really do anything for a while. They just kind of chill. They're in Texas. They're just kind of chilling. And then he's like, maybe we should get jobs. So they start getting jobs.
Oh, Magic Conch. What should we do next?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Exactly. Or as P puts it, he was Pinky, not the brain. Oh God, that is so true. That is so true. But no, seriously, he makes this whole he decides that they all start to get jobs. So they all start getting jobs. And, you know, a few people here and there start to leave because they're like, I don't know what's going on with this fucking group. Like, these guys are like just not really doing anything, you know? So they start getting jobs. They start, you know, experiencing the real world and everything, but they are insistent on not really experiencing the real world because even though they had jobs, all of the money went back to the group. Because yes, at this point, the money was all going back to Herf, but he wasn't using it in a horrible way like a lot of these cult leaders do. He wasn't using it on drugs and sex like Jim Jones. He wasn't using it to create his own business like Tony Alamo. He was using that money to support the group. He was using it to buy food. He was using it for rent. He was using it to keep the class going and to keep them together, because at this point he's done with that whole let's all like go out separately and, you know, experience the world separately and everything. He is terrified of being left alone, because that is what he truly is at this point. He is alone for the first time in over 10 years. It's been about 15 years at this point. He is alone for the first time in about 15 years. And yes, he is surrounded by people, but these are people who don't understand that this whole group is the brainchild of a woman who is just sort of like, what if aliens came down, and then wrote a fan fiction about it, and then it turned into a real life LARP forever.
Turned into her manifesto.
Basically. But yeah, so it was a really unfortunate situation for her. And it was a really unfortunate situation for the rest of the group. And it was a terrible situation for Terry, because fucking Terry lost her mother. Her mother was dead for a year. You know?
Yeah, and she was just finding out about it.
Seriously. I need more wine. She was just finding out about it because Herf was fucking selfish, and he wanted to keep the memory of Bonnie to... You good?
Something just dripped on me from my pointy water glass.
That's weird.
You're sealed!
I swear to God. What?
It's sealed! Why is it dripping on me?
Didn't
like
Cheers.
that.
Excuse me. Oh God. Anyway, I'm good. I sipped a little bit of air with that, and it didn't like it. I don't like it. But anyway, so after Bonnie left, he continued to teach the classes. He didn't really have any idea what he was doing at this point, but he always left a chair next to him empty to represent Bonnie. Did I cut my hair? I got bangs, yeah, but it's still long. But yeah, I got bangs and I dyed my hair brown because of work. Thank you for asking. But yeah, Scarlett gave me bangs last time I went and saw her.
She did that for me too.
Yeah. And now Kate's growing her bangs out.
Yeah.
Kate's mad at me for getting bangs too. Kate, bangs are my thing.
They have been my thing for like 6 months now, okay?
Yeah, now they're my thing too, bitch.
Yeah, no, they're just so fucking, they're so high maintenance. They're annoying.
This is a good one. Kate, look at the screen. By Scarlett.
Yeah, Scarlett banged us.
Yup. Scarlett will love that one. But anyway, so Herf, he is floundering at this point, and some people start, leaving and everything, but he is desperate to keep a hold of this class. However, he definitely had his own doubts. And that really comes to play with something that I thought I was going to talk about in the next episode, but I honestly think that this is the perfect time to talk about it. So, as we have talked before, the members of Heaven's Gate were fairly androgynous, to the extent that that when they first killed themselves in the 90s, they were assumed to have all been men. Kate, you remember me talking about that in the first episode. Mm-hmm. However, that wasn't entirely the case, obviously. They were men and women. And in fact, there were more women than men, which kind of makes me wonder the implications of that. However, I'll get into that later. What happened next is slightly graphic, but I am going to talk about it. So, one of the members of Heaven's Gate went to Doe and said, "Listen, I want to fully overcome my desires in this body. I want to be more androgynous. I want to fully overcome the feelings of sexual, what's the word I'm looking for? Desire? I don't know. What?
Urges?
Yeah, urges. Thank you. I want to fully overcome these urges that I'm having. Will you give me permission to have my testicles removed?"
I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Doe, to his credit, was sort of like, "No. Please don't do that. Please no." And they were just sort of like, "Well, here's the thing. We're going to do it." And Doe was like, please don't do that. Please don't do that." And they were like, "But the thing is, we're going to do it." So he was like, "Okay,
Don't
okay,
do
okay.
that to your dinghy.
Okay. Listen. Okay. So you can do it, but do not do it in this house." And they were like, "Okay." And he was like, "And you can only do it if you absolutely for sure know what you're doing." And they were like, "Okay." So they got a motel room. They got a motel room. And the person,
That is one of the least sanitary places you could do something like that.
the person who did this surgery had worked in a vet clinic. So they had done it to animals before, but never people, you know? Kate is turning the same color as her hair right now, and it's kind of hilarious.
I'm just gonna hide in my bangs right now. I can't.
You okay?
I can't with that.
So you look like Joey Ramone.
I don't know who that is.
A redheaded Joey. Hang on. You don't know who Joey Ramone is?
No.
All right.
Is it Joey Ramone of the Ramones?
Yes.
Okay. I still don't know who he is. Like, I don't know what he looks like.
Hang on. Well, now I have to show Kate what Joey Ramone looks like because this is going to bother me.
It's not a phase, Mom.
Hey, the Ramones were like actual punk, okay?
Ooh. It's a funky little curve there.
Pete Davidson is actually playing him in a movie.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, I got to show Kate who Joey Ramone is because with your bangs over your eyes like that, you looked like Joey Ramone. There you go.
Oh, okay.
He was also like 7 feet tall or something crazy like that. And yeah, he was a tall boy. He was a very tall boy.
That's pretty sexy of him.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. I love the Ramones. My mom saw the Ramones and Blondie play one time, and I was so jealous when I found out. I was like, fuck you, that's awesome. My mom went to a lot of really good shows. I think my dad might have gone with her to that one. Anyway, I'll ask him later. But anyways, so they went on to proceed with this procedure. It involved a lot of local anesthetic, removal of testicles, and like medical rubber bands, basically. What?
The doctor just went,
Wasn't even a doctor. It was literally another cult member.
oh, that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And do you remember how I said that Doe didn't really have a choice in all of this? Like he was kind of thrown into this whole leadership role, and and he didn't really have a way to go beyond this. That really comes to play with this situation because something went wrong with the procedure.
Really?
Something went very wrong with the procedure. And the person who had had his testicles removed had a reaction. And basically his like groin area swelled up to the size of a cantaloupe. Yeah. And Doe is freaking out. He is freaking out. He is going, oh my God, put me in jail. Call the police. Put me in jail. I let you guys do this. I said that this was okay for you to do. I should go to prison. I am a horrible, horrible person. And his people were just sort of like, no, we're going to take care of this. You stay here. And he's just like, I'm sorry, what? And they were like, no. You stay here. We are going to take care of this. And he's just like, what, like, take him out back and shoot him? Like, take care of it? Or what's happening here? And they're like, shh. We're going to take care of this. Okay? Okay. So they take the guy that had the surgery to a different city, to the hospital, and basically say that he did it to himself. And the doctors were like, okay. Why? And they were like, shh, don't ask questions. Just fix it. Fix his lack of balls. Fix that.
Do you want us to put balls back?
No. No balls.
But they're gone.
Exactly. That was the purpose of the surgery. Don't touch them. Just make it not hurt anymore.
I have so many questions about these people.
Don't ask questions. Fix it.
Okay.
Since it was a hospital, the doctors actually did fix it. Since it was a hospital, the doctors fixed it because they were like, okay. You know?
Just well, that's our job. So I guess we're gonna fix this guy's infected non-balls.
It actually wasn't infected. So what had happened was they had accidentally clamped a artery instead of where they needed to clamp.
Oh no! Oh no!
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So once they fixed that, he was fine. He was totally fine. They gave him some antibiotics, like just in case, and they were like, "Hey, don't do this at home again." And they were like, "Yeah, no, for sure. We definitely won't do it at home again. It's fine.
No, we got it out. We got it out. We don't need to again. It's fine.
We don't need to anymore. We don't need to anymore." So at that point, he went back to the house where they were all living, and he's kind of hanging out, and he's just like super proud of himself, super happy, just like like he had this little secret and everything. And then finally, Doe was like, "Okay, you're out of the woods now. You can tell people what you did." And he's just like, "Guess what, you guys? Guess what? I don't have any more testosterone. You want to know how? You want to know how?
How did you do it?
I don't have balls anymore." I know, right? I know, right? Yeah.
Okay, I want to get my balls ripped off.
That's literally what happened. A bunch more people were like, if he can do it, I want to do it. So a few more people did, including Marshall Herf Applewhite. Yeah, he did it too. He was like, you know what? I'll do it. So there's a long-standing rumor that the members of Heaven's Gate were castrated and that they'd had their penises cut off. That is an over-exaggeration to the umpteenth degree. They did not have their penises cut off. They had their testicles removed.
Voluntarily.
Voluntarily. But you know what? Your brother-in-law voluntarily had his vas deferens snipped, so no judgment.
Yeah. That's different, though. It's because he still wanted to fuck. He just didn't want babies.
But still, no judgment.
Oh, yeah, no, none at all. Especially not for that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Big oof. Big
oof. Yeah. Not comfy. Not comfy at all. But anyway, Heaven's Gate was going into a very different direction than Bonnie Lou Nettles had ever intended for it to go. She intended for it to be all health food and driving around and trying to find the aliens. And without her leadership, the group descended into what are we going to do? And IDK, let's cut our balls off. So I think that just goes to prove if you start a cult, make sure that you have like a plan in case you die.
Like an itinerary, a follow?
Yeah, exactly. Or like a syllabus, you know, since this is a class.
Something.
Yeah, seriously. Because otherwise you're leaving it in the hands of a guy who's like, you know what, go ahead and cut your balls off. That's fine with me.
And you know what? Maybe I'll cut my balls off.
Yeah, exactly. I don't blame her for wanting to do it. I don't blame any of them for wanting to do it. Like, meh. I get it. But at the same time, you're letting someone who worked in a goddamn vet clinic cut off your balls.
I mean, you would think that they would be the experts on that.
You would think, but they made a big ol' oopsie with that first guy.
Yeah, they had done a mistake.
I think that one of the guys who's still alive, he may have had it done too. I honestly can't remember right now off the top of my head. However, I am torn at the moment between wanting to reach out to this guy because I can have a first session with him as a life coach for free. One of the survivors of Heaven's Gate is a life coach now. There's a whole lot of irony there.
No kidding.
There's a whole level of irony that I am truly curious if he recognizes because, my guy, you are a life coach now and you were in Heaven's Gate for God's sakes.
Just, are you hoping people get the joke or do you not realize?
Do you get the joke, sir? Do you get it? I don't think he does because he honestly, he's got like a whole website. I found his Twitter and all of that. A lot of these people are like Trumpers now. It's really weird. I know, right?
That's disappointing.
I mean, I think they just really needed someone else to follow after all of this.
Yeah, they just needed another cult, and that's exactly what being a Trumper is all about.
Honestly, I think with these people, what am I trying to say here? It's like what we talked about in the last episode. In the last episode, we talked a little bit about how these people were very
lost.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of Trump supporters are very lost as well. And I feel like a lot of these people were very much like, yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. What Kate is referring to by jabbing her thumb towards the door is her family. At least 3 members of your family?
Yeah, Junior didn't vote.
Yeah, no, Junior didn't vote, but Polly did. And he voted for Trump, didn't he?
As far as I know.
Yeah. Yeah, her mom, dad, and brother are all Trump supporters, unfortunately. Oh, dude, no, at the restaurant I work at, it's really funny. I work at a restaurant that is very much Southern centric. But 90% of the people I work with are gay liberals.
Yeah.
And all we do is talk shit about the customers.
Yeah, I get that. Very.
We honestly do. We sit there. Like, we had a guy in yesterday who, yesterday. We had 2 different people in yesterday that we were talking a whole lot of shit about. One of them was a guy who was wearing a t-shirt that said, "He's still my president," and it was like Donald Trump. And then there was like
Sir,
one guy.
You were literally in a cult, sir.
Yeah. And then there's another guy that was wearing a shirt that had a picture of a caveman with like an LGBT hat on. And it said, "I identify as a liberal Dem," or something like that. And I was just like, okay. He kept trying to get my attention at one point and I just ignored him. Not gonna lie.
A guy came into my store the other day wearing a MAGA hat.
Ew, people still have those?
It was like real crisp and clean too.
Ew.
And he had children with him.
Oh God, he procreated.
Yeah.
I feel like this comment right here in our comments is pretty good for this moment, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you listening, not watching, it is our dear friend saying, "Yes, thank you for not spreading your seed, you bunch of idiots." I disagree with calling them idiots. I feel like these people are manipulated. However, I agree. Thank you for not having children. Yeah. And she has gone on to caption exactly what we were thinking.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I was at the restaurant that I work at and this guy kept trying to get my attention and like wave me down and I literally ignored him because I don't fuck with that.
Yeah, no thanks. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, I don't fuck with that. But anyways, so in the next episode, we are going to be oh shit, I just lost my pen. We are going to be talking about the class. We're going to be getting more into the belief system of Heaven's Gate at this point, because the belief system at this point is very different from what it used to be. It has changed. It has become something almost entirely new. And in the next episode, we actually get a little bit of a crossover with another cult.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So we get a little bit of a crossover with another cult in the next episode, which is actually going to be fascinating. So we've got 2 more episodes as far as Heaven Gates go. We have the class, and then we have episode 5, the exit tapes, which are going to be really interesting. I am trying to get my hands on a copy of the exit tapes so that I can play at least a little bit of the tapes on this show. I will keep trying. I'm trying to find somewhere that I can download them because I don't know how to download shit off of YouTube. So if anyone knows how to do that, please let me know in the comments or message me or email us at chardonnaytruecrime@gmail.com, CHARDONHAAAY truecrime@gmail.com. And Kate, thoughts so far?
It spirals. It's a spiral.
It really does. And I think it's a lot of what we had to talk about in the last episode, where we talked about how these people, they are desperate to believe in something.
Mm-hmm.
They really are. And I honestly feel bad for them about that. but they are desperate to believe in something, even if that something is, I don't know the words right now, you know?
Okay.
Even if that something is,
Hold on. Improbable.
thank you. Improbable. Not impossible, improbable.
No, impassable. Nothing's impossible.
I truly and honestly, I have said this before. I will say this again. I will say this until I die. I hope that the members of Heaven's Gate who left, I hope that they found peace. I hope they found what they were looking for. And I hope that the afterlife is what they were expecting, if there is any sort of afterlife. Personally, I don't believe in that sort of thing. As far as that goes, I'm a very complex person when it comes to belief. You know?
I get that.
Yeah. But I hope that they found what they were looking for by exiting their bodies.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not the only person who hopes that. Nichelle Nichols' brother died as a part of this cult. And her family released a statement saying, "We hope that he found what he was looking for. We hope that he did get on that spaceship and go away." You know? Yes, his earthly body is gone, but his spirit lives on. Where? We don't know. But
At the very least, in our hearts.
exactly. Exactly. And the members of Heaven's Gate will always live on in our minds because we will never stop talking about this and we will never stop learning about it. And at least there's that for them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, final thoughts on the episode, Kate.
I'm sure that they didn't even do this for the notoriety.
No, they did this for themselves.
Yeah. So that's something that I can definitely like appreciate. You know, they didn't do this because like they wanted to like become like the biggest thing. They didn't want to become like the next Christianity. They wanted peace. They wanted
to go to space in an alien spacecraft.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted.
And honestly, same. But
Same.
I'll just wait until I achieve my final form.
Exactly.
I'll let that happen naturally.
Exactly. So until next time, say goodnight, Kate.
Good night, Kate.
Good night, and join us next week for Heaven's Gate Part 4, The Class. Good night, everyone.
Bye.